So what are some things that you might lose when you come back from cruising? Well, I know one of the things I worry about is losing the sense of wonder. Hi, I'm Nika Waters, and welcome to the Boat Galley podcast. Today I'm talking about some of the things I worry about when we come back from cruising, because let's face it, everybody has to come back from cruising at some point. This episode of the Boat Galley podcast is sponsored by Infinity, the most trusted name in woven vinyl flooring in the marine industry. Since 2008, Infinity has offered boat owners premier flooring options proven to withstand even the most demanding environments. Each of their products is equipped with UV-stable fade resistance and antimicrobial technology, giving them both durability and style that can't be matched. Thinking about kicking carpet to the curb? Make the switch to Infinity and see the difference true luxury makes. Visit InfinityLWV.com and use the coupon code BG20 for 10% off any area rug. Limit 1 per customer. When it's time to be done with cruising, it's time to be done with cruising. Sometimes that's a matter of your own choosing. Sometimes it's not. There are times that you come back from cruising because you need to take care of medical issues or because you've run out of money. Sometimes you come back from cruising because you had a finite time that was planned and set for, and you needed to come back for whatever reason there is. Whatever happens, though, at some point, you're done with cruising. So what are the things that I think are really important to keep a hold of? What are some of the magical parts about cruising that are important to have even when you get back? And are those things that you might worry about before you actually wind up coming back? This is something that came to my mind as we were driving back from Vermont last summer, the end of September 2019. Now, you may not think that Vermont has anything to do with cruising, but for me, where we were in Vermont, in the very far northeast corner of the state, on the Canadian and New Hampshire borders, we've got a place on a lake up there, and it's about, in my opinion, as close to land-based cruising as you can get. It's quiet, it's remote. It doesn't matter the age of the people that you're interacting with, because everybody is up there with a lot of the same ways of thinking about the world. Those are things that I love about the cruising lifestyle. I also totally love the idea that wonder is a part of everyday life when you're cruising. Sure, there absolutely are awful moments and terrible moments and frustrating moments. There are things like, where are you going to buy your next can of tomatoes can turn into a 2-day long adventure trying to track down the open store that actually is only open for 2 hours a day every other Thursday. Those are maybe extreme examples, but I think there's some things that are frustrating about life on the water that don't exist when you're on land. And I will have to say, even up in northern Vermont, those kinds of things don't exist because there's a town a hop in a car away. That's not the case when we're sailing, for sure. We might be a long way away even after a decent dinghy ride to get to a store. So, what do I find amazing and incredible about cruising that I absolutely want to make sure I hold on to? It's wonder. It's the wonder of sunsets. It's the wonder of dolphins. It's the wonder of being able to sit in the cockpit and watch the ever-changing world around you. Because even if you're anchored in the same place, your boat is swinging. Your neighbors are changing. The wind on the water changes all the time. I love sitting in the cockpit and just watching. I call it nature's TV, and I'm not kidding. And one of the things that I worry about and am concerned about when we're done cruising, whenever that may be, is that whatever existence we have on land will swallow the wonder part of cruising. When we're cruising, we're sitting in the cockpit and savoring our lunch and watching what's going on. When we're down by the boat, working on the boat right now as we are to get her ready to go cruising, we're noticing the differences every day we drive to the boat and see what's changing on the water. There are different ducks now. We're watching for the ospreys to come back. Right now we're watching the eagles just soar around and play, and they will be gone soon, and the ospreys will come back. One of the things that I have such a hard time with being on land is when you're in the same place and you look in the backyard and it doesn't change. I suppose it would change if I were maybe more in tune with the birds on land. Certainly I enjoy watching the robins and then the cardinals. And there aren't robins maybe in the middle of summer, but there certainly are cardinals all year round. I know that when I go to the grocery store, and it's the same grocery store that I go to all the time, I get annoyed by the fact that the grocery store changes the aisles and the things that are different places. They do that so that you spend more time and buy more things. But when I'm cruising, that's part of the joy that I get, is going to a different store and finding what treasures they have that are local to wherever we happen to be cruising. Above all, when we get back from cruising, which is going to be a long time, we haven't even left to go yet, but the breathing room and the openness and the play of light on water and the wonder. And I guess that's what I want to remind myself of and remind you of and think about grabbing a hold of now is don't miss the wonder. Don't miss the wonder at all. I'm looking forward to sharing an anchorage with you at some point and seeing what sorts of things you find wonderful and what little things you'd like to share to make sure we don't forget them. Thanks so much for listening to the Boat Galley podcast. We love it when you share this with your friends, and we always appreciate a 5-star review. Talk to you soon.